What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Round 11, the final round robin before we head into the semi-finals. As we said at the back end of last episode, still 9 teams potentially that can make the top 4. We've got some big games coming up, so let's go and jump straight into them. Starting off first with the Wicket Takers taking on the Boundary Bashers. Now, the Wicket Takers, they are basically secured, well, almost secured a top 4 spot, but a win here today would guarantee it. Could possibly see them finish as minor premiers for the season as well. The Boundary Bashers, they've got nothing but pride to play for. They'll be looking to get themselves off the bottom of the table, and it is the Boundary Bashers who are batting first, and they haven't got off to the best of starts. Darcy gone for 1 off 5, Bold Hick for, as I said, 1 off 5 core, and that is not the start that they would have wanted. But Duff and de Villiers, they're putting on a nice wee stand here today. And I think that's just been the Boundary Bashers' issue this season. You know, their bowling's been good. Obviously, their bowling is very, very strong. But their batting just has let them down just a little bit. You know, 4 out-and-out bowlers that they've got in there, plus some all-rounders. Right, we have seen wickets start to fall in clumps. I think de Villiers was the first to go to court for 21 off 23. Then Duff just narrowly missing out on that 50 for 49 off 52, bowled by Cook. And then Bosbury gone to court for his second of the game, 4 for 6. Oh, sorry, 4 off 6. I was going to say, if you had 4 for 6 with your bowling figures, you would be an absolute legend. We've seen another one go down. Jones this time, 19 off 36. He's gone to Harrison Green, caught by Ellington, who's had another good season, Tommy, with both bat and behind the stumps, and he'll be looking to pick up some honours at awards night in a couple of weeks. Livingston gone for 8 off 9, bowled by Cook again, getting his second for the game. Green's got his second as well, getting Ilya for 9 off 19. Thomas is putting up a bit of a fight. He is putting some runs on the board for these guys. He's just moved past 70, and this could be the difference, you know, between the Boundary Bashers struggling to make that 200, which they are now over. Allen gets his first for the game, but we are just going to keep an eye on the end score. 220, and I think Thomas scoring 79 of those runs. So a very good innings by him. And if the Boundary Bashers do want to win this game, if they do want to defend this 220, they are going to have to take wickets, because this top order of the wicket takers is very, very crucial. And their captain, Chiz, is leading from the front. He has got 3. He's got Warner first for 4 off 7, and then got Ellington, who we were saying was having such a good season just before, for 12 off 19. And then he's got Romeo for 10 off 7. So he's done his bit, the skipper. Now he needs his other players to stand up for him and continue on his good work so far. Barnes has gone and past 50. He's striking it over a run a ball at the moment. And Cameron was doing very well. Very good supporting at 33 off 45 before he's gone to Ilya. And this game really is open. You'd have to say the wicket takers are ahead on run rate at the moment, but with the 4 wickets down, it does just take a couple to go and change things around. And we have seen that here with Barnes going for 65 off 76. Clean bowled by Peter Darcy. And we have now seen another one go down. Cook for 9 off 17 to Lowe, and Lowe's got caught as well for a 9-ball duck. There can't be anything worse than that there, and things are very tight heading into this last 10-over period, and this is a big game. This is a huge opportunity here for both teams to go and pick up the win. It is going to be close either way. Not too sure which way it is going to go, but I think Hesselgreave and Green possibly have done just enough to get them up. In fact, they've got up just by the 1 run. It was almost a tie. We've seen a few of those this year, but the wicket takers get up by just 3 wickets. That means the Boundary Bashers season, well, before this game, it was completely done and dusted. And barring an absolute mare from the Snipers, I believe they are going to finish bottom of this season of Cliffys Champions League. But Hesselgreave and Green, they were the guys who really took the wicket takers over the line. I thought for a second there they weren't going to go and get up. Not the case. Barnes, man of the match, 65 off 76, and his innings was very, very important, especially with the wickets falling around him. So as we head out, take a look and see what that does to the table. That win has guaranteed the wicket takers a top 4 spot. Where they finish will depend on other results. We will just have to go and wait and see. Another game here, essentially you would say a quarter-final, but both teams in with an outside chance of making the top 4. The Wolfpack taking on the Royal Hiney. The winner, as I said, still does have an opportunity to make that top 4. It is going to be tough, but still a chance. The loser, they are going to be out, done and dusted for the season. So let's go and get into it. Playing at the Den, so the Wolfpack do have the home field advantage in this one. Whether that will come good for them, we do not know, but not the greatest of start for the Hiney. We have seen Lickley gone early for 7 off 9 to Mitchell Johnson. And I think what the Royal Honey want to do here is just get a decent total on the board. That's something they've struggled with a little bit all season, is just getting runs on the board. And their wildcard Callis hasn't really helped them in that situation. He hasn't really made too many runs throughout the season. And he's been, I guess, the weak point in this side. It still has been a very good Royal Hiney side. Remember, they were finalists the last 2 years, I believe. Haven't managed to get that elusive crown yet, though, and it's looking as though they may not get it this season either, as we have lost another couple of wickets after that Lickley one. So it was Callis first who went to the wild card for the Wolfpack, Mitchell Johnson, for 24 off 42. Frost, he played a good innings here today, 58 off 76, and a good wee partnership being put on together here by Spriggs and Lindsay as they move to get to a decent total that hopefully can be defended. Spriggs just gone and past his 50, moving along very, very nicely, very close to a run of ball as well in terms of those strike rates. So we'll definitely go and take that there, will the Royal Hiney. And moving, as I said, towards a fairly decent total, probably looking somewhere around the 240, 250 mark, and I think that would be a very good total. We have actually seen 100 from Spriggs. I believe that is his first for the season, and they do finish with 265, the Royal Hiney, so that is going to be a fairly decent chase here for the Wolfpack to go and chase that down. And they have lost Everson, who has been probably one of their keys this season when it has come to the bat. 9 off 19 for him. And they just need to go and obviously keep building this partnership here. The Wolfpack, the Royal Hiney, they need to continue to take wickets. They got off to a good start, albeit an expensive start, but they have since pegged it back just a little bit. Cook striking, I wouldn't say slowly, but striking at about 50. Morris, he is more than making up for that, striking at just under 100. So, but we have seen him gone for 48 off 52 to Harvey. And now that strike rate could potentially come into play, because remember, 260 is what is being chased down. And at this stage, the Wolfpack are very much behind the 8 ball, very much behind the run rate in terms of getting those runs on the board. We could see an incredible last 20 overs, which could see them taken to the victory. I was going to say 50 has just gone to Cook. He struggled a little bit today, did still make 50, but not at a great rate. Finally run out by Lickley for 53 off 85. And Vanderberg, he is keeping the ship steady at the moment. He's just gone and past his 50. Griffin gone for 31 off 22. He played his bit. He just needed to come in and be explosive. And Callis, even though he hasn't done it with the bat this season, he has really performed with the ball. He's picked up 3 quick wickets here. Got Vanderberg first, then Taylor. And just like that, the game is over. So we are just going to head back quickly to the scorecard. So got Vanderberg first for 74 off 89. Then got Taylor for 1 off 14, and then Johnson for a golden duck. Was on a hat-trick at one stage, and Callaway chipping in with a wicket towards the back end there as well. So 3 off 6. And that does mean, obviously, the Royal Hiney get up. Spriggs man of the match, as you would expect, for that 109 not out. I think that is the first 100 he has had all season, which is very strange. Was up, I think, the second or third top batter in runs scored in Season 2. So a disappointing season for him. As I said, it doesn't mean the Royal Hiney season is finished. Currently sitting outside the top 4. They are level on points, but we could see some big victories either way, which could push some of these teams that are on 10 points down and out. And this game here is one of them, the Vikings and the Sledging Cyclones. Both teams in. Again, a win is going to see them stay inside the top 4. A loss, they're waiting on other results. The Vikings, they're at home, so they'll be looking to take that home field advantage into this one here. And it is the Vikings who have chosen to bat first. Now, the Vikings, they've been a side, obviously a foundation side. They've been with us since Season 1. I think struggled in Season 1, I think they finished 4th in Season 1, possibly. And I don't think they made the 4 last season. I think they did struggle a little bit, but they've come back well this season, recruited well, and they've got a pretty good lineup when you look at it. Obviously, the 3 out-and-out bowlers. They've got good all-rounders, led well by their captain. And Illingworth, I think he's really been the surprise. Obviously, Season 1 didn't have a good season whatsoever. He's come back in Seasons 2 and 3 and has been very, very good for the Vikings. So they'll be looking to hang on to him heading into Season 4. We're going to talk about some wickets now. Perkins was the first man to go for 26 off 27 to Rowe, and then Bath for 19 off 13. Al Thompson has gone. He made a 50, but then was out shortly after that for 50 off 79. Illingworth gone for a 3rd bull duck. I was going to say a golden duck to Nadeem, getting his 2nd, and then Nadeem getting his 3rd, getting the Captain Roberts for 21 off 30. And things aren't looking too good at the moment for the Vikings, as I said, putting this total on the board. But something they have done well all season is that their middle and lower order, the tail has wagged, and they've gone and got some runs on the board. And that's the case here. Obviously, they're not going to have a huge total on the board, but they are still going to have something to defend. Jay Thompson, he's gone and passed 50, going at a very good rate of knots as well. Up to 84. Rowe's gone and taken a wicket, and I think about 240 is the total that is being chased here. So it's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, especially with those 2 early wickets that Spearman has gone and taken. Got head first, I believe, for 13 off 9, and then Smith for 8 off 7. So they've lost their first 2. And the Cyclones, I guess they're a bit the same. You know, their middle and lower order has been very strong this season when the top order has failed. I can't remember too many times that Travis Head has gone on to make big scores this season. Same as Smith. He had a good season last year. Couldn't quite carry it on this year. And Illingworth, when he fails with a bat, he definitely makes it up with the ball. He's got Kapoor for 40 off 15, 45, sorry. 40 off 15 will be an incredible knock, but 40 off 45, sorry. And then Kay's gone for 5 off 6 to Roberts, and McKenzie for 2 off 7. So all of a sudden, the Cyclones are looking like they are in a little bit of trouble. Brown is steadying the ship. He has gone and passed his 50. But as I've said this season, you know, their tail has wagged, and it has gone and got them some runs. Illingworth gets his second for the game, gets Brown for 59 off 96. Very well made innings, that one. Between himself and Kapoor put on a good partnership, and things are looking a little bit dicey for the Cyclones here. Remember, they are chasing about 240, so they still need about 70 odd runs, which I think they are going to fall short. You know, for their I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Harden, he's done his bit. As I said, the tail was wagged. He's moved past 50, but not enough. The Vikings getting there just in the end by 5 runs. Jay Thompson, 84 not out of 66. He really propelled them towards the back end of the innings. And Spearman, a great all-round performance from him. 40 off 60 with the bat, and then 3 for 48 with the ball. Illingworth, 2 for 22. He's always in the wickets if he's not in the run. So what that does mean to the table, obviously the Vikings move on to 12 points. Their place in the top 4 is basically secured. You'd have to say, you know, they can't really drop out. There is still a chance, but they shouldn't really drop out from this situation here. The next game, we have the Snipers taking on the Master Blasters. Again, a loss for the Master Blasters could potentially see... No, couldn't see them drop out. I was going to say could potentially see them drop out of the top 4, but I don't think they can in this situation here, because the only team that can go up is the Shredders and possibly the Sharks, but the Sharks cannot overtake the Master Blasters because they can only get the 2 points. But anyway, the Snipers, they'll be looking to spoil the Master Blasters form. I guess deny them a home semi-final is what they're playing for here today, and to play to stay off the bottom of the table, stay away from the spoon, and let's go and get into this game. Playing at home for the Master Blasters, and for the Snipers, but it is the Master Blasters who are batting first, and it is a bit, you know, disappointing for the Snipers. They're kind of similar. I guess they've done the reverse of the wicket takers. Obviously, Wooden Spooners in Season 1, Champions in Season 2, and then looking like they're going to be heading back to the bottom of the table in Season 3. But they'll be looking to finish off on a high here, finish off strong, and they've got off to a good start. Dobbs has gone and picked up Russell for 17 off 20. This Master Blaster side, though, has been impressive all season. As I've said in earlier videos, I think they went about 5 games unbeaten or something. 5 or 6 games, which in this tournament, as you can see from the ladder, is so close. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. So to go 5 games unbeaten in a row, you know, it is a very, very good performance. Quinton de Kock has just gone and passed his 50. Striking a little bit slowly, and so is McIntyre, and that is the combination that we were told to look out for at the start of the season, was the Quinton and Quinton partnership. It hadn't really developed into anything this season, but it is coming good at a time that is crucial for both of these teams. Quinton de Kock has gone and just passed his 100. Again, the strike rate isn't really there, but it is still going to be a decent total. Whether McIntyre can go up and get there as well. Tyson Bennett, 130 off 158 for Quinton de Kock. So he's done his bit. McIntyre's picked up 100 as well. So twin hundreds for the McIntyres. And 285 is the total that the Snipers are chasing. So this is going to be a huge ask for them to try and pull this off. But they do bat very deep. Obviously, Bennett and Dobbs are both all-rounders. So, I mean, they bat down to number 10. So, plenty of batting in the side. But some early wickets, 3 early wickets from Patterson and Hess, make that 4. I believe Henry was the first to go for 16 off 7. Then Lapakis for 4 off 10. Then Hess chipped in, got Sydney Sampson for 18 off 25 and Clapperton for 11 off 9. So, all of a sudden, that 285 is looking very far away for the Snipers, and it's looking as though the wicket takers are going to take some good momentum, some good form into the semi-finals. Philippe gone to Irie for 16 off 28, so he has gone and I guess done his bit with the ball. Didn't get a chance with the bat today, but you'd have to say in this situation here, still 150 needed off the last 20 overs and 5 wickets down already. But in saying that, as we just said, that they do bat deep, the Snipers. They do have batting down to number 10. They are just going to need to go and probably pick up their scoring rate just a little bit. Dale, he made 50. We did miss that, but gone for 57 off 79, bowled by Hasty. Ray, he's gone and past 50 as well, so he's 55 off 74. And it's looking as though it is not going to be a win here for the Snipers, but they are going to have their heads held high heading into, I guess, the pre-season break, you would have to say. In the end, only losing by 35, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Ray, 90 not out, and our man of the match goes to Quinton de Kock, 130. I think that's the first time he has passed 100. Same as McIntyre in this season, so well done to both of them. Taking that winning momentum, as I said, into the playoffs. They've secured themselves a home semi-final and a home final if they go and make it, even on points with the wicket takers. And now we head down to the very last game. The Shredders taking on the Sharks. Both teams sitting just outside of the top 4. And this essentially is a quarter-final, because if the Shredders do win, they head on to 12. They knock the Sledging Cyclones out. If the Sharks win, they move on to 10 points. But because of their superior net run rate at the moment, they would move into 10th. They would move on to 10 points, I should say, and manage to sneak into that 4th position. Because even with a win, even a narrow win, their net run rate is not going to drop. The Shredders, they're at home, so they'll be looking to use that home field advantage. Essentially a quarter-final this game, and it is the Shredders who have done what I would do. In a knockout game, in a must-win game, you always bat first. You put those runs on the board, put some scoreboard pressure onto the opposition team, and that is exactly what the Shredders have done here so far. 50 partnership coming up inside the first 10 overs, so they'll definitely take that. And the Sharks need some wickets here, because this is going to be an absolute demolition derby otherwise. Kumar gone for 46 or 43, bowled by myself, getting the first wicket there. But the Sharks do need to go and get some wickets on the board, because both these players striking it very, very well, very close to 100. In fact, Corp was over 100, and Dahinga very, very close. He's gone and passed his 50 as well, and it does look like we are going to get a big, big total here, like we got in the last game, you know, somewhere around that 270, 280, possibly even 290 score, unless some wickets can start to fall. But good partnerships, even though there has only been 2 in the game so far. And just a little bit of luck possibly is what was needed by the Sharks there. They get the run out first of Dahinga for 79 off 88, and then Corp getting bowled by Pookie for 59 off 64. And 2 gone to Cliff for 16 off 7. McGuinness gone to Cliff, caught and bowled for 7 off 19. But still, the damage has been done earlier on in the game. Cliff getting his 4th. 25 off 16. Can't get the 5 wicket bag, which he has had one of in this season here. But again, as I said, 296 is the total that is being chased. It's not completely out of the park yet, but it is going to be a very hard total to chase. So again, I think 290 is what I said. I said anywhere between 270, 280, 290, just with the start that the Shredders went and got off to. So they've got those runs on the board now. They just need their bowlers to go and back them up. Turnbull made a very good 50. Very good start. 50 off 51. And the Sharks just need these players to continue on. Just to do what the Shredders did, which was build good partnerships towards the back end of the innings, or just all throughout the innings, because that is what really did win and help them. McLaren hasn't done much this season, but he has stood up now. He's gone and picked up 3 early wickets. He got Cosmos first for 23 off 32, and then Farnworth for a second bull duck. And things aren't looking too good here for the Sharkies. Cliff gone to Yeoman for 19 off 17, and they are going to need a big, big effort from both Dean and Pookie. Those are their pinch-hitting guys, excuse me, the guys who can come in and just blast it. But you'd have to say in this situation here, needing about 100 runs off the last 10 overs. It probably is not going to happen, and that is going to be curtains for the Sharks season. As I said, we will just have to wait and see. Stranger things have happened, but I just don't see it happening here today. J.R. Dean, he's gone and passed his 50. Bray batted throughout the innings, but couldn't quite get up. And the Shredders win by 37 runs. So at the end of the day, it is a very big deficit. Cliff getting the man of the match for that 4 for 61, but it goes in vain because the Shredders win. That means they make the top 4, and the Sharks, they do miss out. As do the Sledging Cyclones, who were in there until obviously that loss there. So our top 4 looks like the Master Blasters will be taking on the Shredders in our first semi-final, and the Wicket Takers in the Vikings in the second semi-final. Sledging Cyclones, as I said, just missing out. They finished on 10 points. Royal Hiney on 10. Bashing Bulldogs on 10 as well. They had the bye this round. Bit unfortunate, but that's just the way the draw works. The Wolfpack and the Sharks finishing on 8 points apiece, and the Snipers and the Boundary Bashers on 7 apiece. So that finishes all 11 rounds of Cliffys Champions League. Next week we will have the semi-finals and the finals the week after that. I'm really looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Hope you're enjoying this series to date so far. Just 2 weeks left to go, but it is going to be a very, very exciting 2 weeks nonetheless. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you had a good weekend, and make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got more Don Bradman, my career, coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.